Hi guys, welcome back to Careyberry. So it is Easter. Happy Easter. I'm filming this late. Who would have thought? But yeah, March was a good month, a bad month, an in-between month. It was a month. So yeah, I have, I think, broken out of the kind of slump that I was in, which is good. I read 6 books in March, so I'm going to take you through them relatively quickly. But anyway, one thing I almost forgot to mention is that in March I was taking part in Tis the Damn Readathon, which was a readathon hosted by Emma from Drinking by My Shelf and a lot of other people, like too many people to tag. I don't think a lot of them have YouTube. I think some of them are just Bookster or Book Twitter. But yeah, so I took part in that as well, and I think I got all of the albums, so I'm pretty damn impressed. The first book I read in March was Becoming by Michelle Obama. I listened to this as an audiobook through my audiobook library app, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the way she spoke about so many things just really spoke to me, and I just could relate to her in so many ways and not at all in others, but it was really useful insight into experiences that I will never have. I also really loved the way that she spoke about education, and a lot of the things she said really resonated with me, or I agreed with a lot. Yeah, so a lot of the things she said about education really resonated with me and are things that I want to replicate in my own teaching, so I really loved it. It was probably the best book to start the month off with, to be honest. I just loved it. Becoming by Michelle Obama ticked off the Speak Now prompt, which was listen to an audiobook, so I got that whole album. Okay, then next I finally read Feminists Don't Wear Pink and Other Lies by lots of authors but curated by Scarlett Curtis. And I did really enjoy this one. I found it really difficult because around the time I was reading this, the murder and disappearance of Sarah Everard was happening, and it was just a tough time to read this. But I did really enjoy it, and like what feminism means to a lot of women, and it really again resonated with me and is something that really made me think about what feminism means to me, and I might write a blog post on it. But yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed it. At times it was repetitive, at times I didn't agree. I don't know, it was a weird one, but I liked that it was quite intersectional as well. So you were getting to hear from a lot of different people about their different experiences and the intersections of feminism. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. Feminists Don't Wear Pink ticked off the prompt for Lover, which was a 5-star prediction, because I predicted this 5 stars in a video a very long time ago, which I should probably redo now because I think I've read all of them. But yeah, so that ticked off that, so I got Speak Now and Lover so far. And then I read Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. This is the Fairy Loot edition, and I enjoyed this. It was very quick paced, and at times it kind of lost it for me a bit. For a lot of the time I did not know what was happening in the book, and I found it really difficult to keep up with. But I did enjoy it. It was okay. This was the first book I think I've read, like, fictional by 2 authors. But yeah, it was okay. Like, I didn't massively love it. I didn't hate it. It was okay. Some aspects of it I really liked. I think the book was slightly too long for me, I think. But I did enjoy it, so there we go. This also ticked off quite a few prompts. So because this is a YA, it ticked off the prompt for Fearless, which was 15, read a YA. So it ticked off that. It ticked off 1989 because it has a number in the title because of 1, and it also ticked off red because it has red on the cover. So at this point I was like, I knew going into this readathon that I was really gonna struggle reading this month, so I tried to make this as easy for myself as possible and read as little books as I could to fulfill all the prompts. So yeah. What else did this fulfill? I feel like there was another one this did. I'm gonna go check. This also ticked off the folklore prompt, which was Exile, read a book written by 2 authors, because it's by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, so it ticked off that as well. So I think I got like 4 prompts just for this one book, so I was really happy with that. Okay, so next I had 2 albums left to collect, and I collected them with 1 book. So I read This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mota and Max Gladstone, and this ticked off the prompt for Evermore because it was like surprise yourself with a pick, and I got my boyfriend to pick for me, so he picked this, and luckily enough it also ticked off Reputation because it has romance but is within another genre, because it's a sci-fi but with a romantic element. And I really enjoyed this. I was very confused, but I really enjoyed it. The writing was just beautiful, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I've just realised that I've not told you what any of these books are about. But this is about 2 agents who, I think they're both female, but they like go through time leaving each other notes, and they're like on opposite sides, and they just go through time leaving each other like love letters essentially, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Very confusing, beautifully written. I loved it. So there was another prompt if you finished all the albums, which is called Blank Space, and one of the prompts within Blank Space was to read a book with a cat on the cover or about cats, and I chose A Street Cat Named Bob by James Bowen. So this is a lovely book, a very sad book. It was really emotional, and yeah, I just really liked it. So it's a memoir about James Bowen and his cat Bob, who he meets while he's living in vulnerable housing. So he was homeless and had recently got housing, and was still working on the streets, and he takes this cat in, and it really changes his life, and it's a really emotional story, really sweet, and yeah, I really liked it. I didn't quite give it 5 stars because I didn't love the writing, but it was really sweet, and it really made me reconsider a lot of things, like humanity, because a lot of the time when people are on the streets we will walk past, just not acknowledge, and the way he spoke about that was really insightful. And then when people started to see him with an animal, it was always in the capacity of the animal that he was talked to, so they'd be like, how is your cat, kind of thing, and then when he wouldn't have the cat they'd just ignore him again. So it was really interesting and insightful to see that, but yeah, that book made me reconsider a lot of things, but yeah, so that is my quite speedy March wrap up. Yeah, I didn't read a ton, but I read more than last month, so that's good. But yeah, I did enjoy those books, and I'm glad I took part in the readathon. I'm glad I got all the albums. Fearless is coming out, well, Fearless Taylor's version is coming out in a few days, and I am so excited. So yeah, what did you read in March? What was your favourite book? Let me know in the comments down below. Comment an emoji of a stack of books if you've got this far, and yeah, don't forget to like the video and obviously comment, because I love interacting with you guys, and don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.